Hello everyone, and welcome to the Captain's Video Weblog. We are Thursday, December the 8th, 2016. We are Friday. It's 2:30 p.m. almost, and I'm a little bit pissed. You know, I should probably, when I hear people getting up, I should probably go into the garage and just get on with it. And I don't care about what people think when I'm stepping out of the garage. Like, well, I'm fucking done. Good fucking night. Although it might be 7 a.m. But yeah, if I had done on Monday what I did yesterday, which is sleep for 3 hours, this whole situation might have not existed at all. I mean, the main reason why I'm awake right now is that at one point, Monday night I went into my bed and it was hot as fuck, and I wasn't really tired, and I didn't sleep. And then it's on Tuesday that everything got everything started to accumulate. Well, I mean, Tuesday I fell asleep on the couch various times, and then on Wednesday same thing, and then yesterday night same thing, and here I am. So yeah, and it's actually a pretty huge problem actually, because well, I mean, I need to go to sleep after recording this shit. Like, sleep for 3 hours, get dressed, because at least it's gonna give me really the incentive to not wait until tomorrow in the morning to take a shower, because I don't want to be the one who makes everybody late. I've been in that role for probably way too long. Even being that man just once is probably once too many. So yeah, because tomorrow we have to leave at 8 for the family gathering, and then we're coming back actually on the same day. So we'll probably be able to do Saturday's video weblog on Saturday, yeah, or at all, I mean. So yeah, doesn't mean that not being happy with myself right now doesn't mean that there wasn't anything to talk about besides NXT. It was Nice who sent their B team to win against Krasnodar. Actually, they won 2-1, which is in stark contrast with the A team, the regulars, losing 5-2 or something like that in Russia. Yep. To think that the usual way of playing the Europa League when you're a French team would work better than the new way. Actually trying doesn't make you go further than just winging it. Then again, they had some good chances against Schalke last week. Should have netted some more goals. And Saint Etienne won 3-2 against Anderlecht by, with a brace from Sutherland and 3 goals before the 80th minute. What the fuck is that? What are you doing, Saint Etienne? You're not playing the game we used to see you play. So yeah, and there was the political show. That's literally the name. I mean, it's in French, but the name is The Political Show. They invited Benoît Hamon, who maybe they are betting on the primaries of the left having the same kind of Fillon effect than for the primaries of the right, with Fillon being the third man. He's not gonna win, and he won. Because I'm saying the left because it's essentially another congress of the Socialist Party. They want Macron and Mélenchon to come take part into the primaries, but then on the other side they say to other candidates who were a bit late to associate themselves with the Socialist Party, they say, "No, actually you can be part of that. Sorry." Benoît Hamon was, looked very much like the actual essence of the Socialist Party, not what Hollande and Valls made it look like, and maybe what Strauss-Kahn would have made it look like had it not been involved in those affairs, in those cases. Yeah. he was very social, and I mean, um, if it had been rap contenders when he was debating the mayor from whichever town who is member of the National Front, he would have gone, he would have gone with the deep cuts. Like, the dude was named Sanchez, so he's a descendant of Spanish immigrants, migrants, maybe refugees from the Civil War. And the dude said, that's not the same culture. They could have stayed in their country and faced ISIS and all that. And when you think about it, a dude named Sanchez, Spain isn't exactly the same culture as France. It's not because you're white and you're Catholic that it's going to be the same culture. It doesn't work that way. And then you could also go deeper, but fighting, not fighting. What about your grandparents? Maybe they could have fought against Franco. Maybe they could have been part of the underground resistance circuits during the Franco dictatorship. And no, they came to France. If he's really the descendant of Spanish refugees from the Civil War. It's just all that kind of stuff. And I mean, to be fair though, he with lines such as, you don't need, come on, don't take out your little papers. And when you see a poor man in the street, I get him up, you ask him his ID. Oh, laying deep with that one. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to wrestling, the wrestling. When I'm talking about NXT and SmackDown, I can give a lot of time to go a little bit in depth for the shows like SmackDown. Yesterday's video blog, 13, maybe some more minutes of it were completely dedicated to SmackDown, and I'm still I missed some stuff, like Miz using the Busai Kuni kick and not having the pin, because I mean, he's not Daniel Bryan, so the imitation cannot be as efficient as the real thing. And on the other hand, I'm Raw, I gave it 8 to 12 minutes. Then again, if I had gone a little bit deeper, it would have shown how much more silly it is. Like Bayley versus Alicia Fox. Why did that match happen? Well, I mean, Bayley, she offered a teddy bear to Cedric Alexander because she's Bayley. This kind of things she does. And Alicia Fox, she was crazy jealous. Haha. It's just, you had a silly match between Breeze and Fandango for Breeze and Chad Gable on SmackDown because of the fashion popo. But then again, it's essentially, you have to start building somewhere. And Alicia Fox, I don't think that she needs that kind of build. So yeah, anyway, NXT 2016 has been a very important year, very pivotal year for NXT, where there were very good matches, but a lot of the top talent left the show to called up, or I don't think there were anyone quitting. So yeah. So lots of things are being rebuilt, and the tag team division is one of them. And it's with the tag team division that we open with DIY having a little bit of a celebration for the title victory in Toronto almost 3 weeks ago. Yeah, and before they could say anything, they were cut off by Paul Ellering, who came with the Authors of Pain, claiming that the Authors of Pain should be the righteous #1 contenders for the tag titles, having won the Dusty Classic. The Revival didn't take too kindly to that, though they carefully, avoided walking in just too close to the Authors of Pain when they came to the ramp, and said that, there's still the rematch clause. So yeah, and then they went a little bit too far by saying that if they hadn't dropped out of the tournament, maybe the Authors of Pain wouldn't have won. Yeah, so DIY looked on as the Revival got fucking destroyed. Yeah, that wasn't pretty. And then Ellering said the next chapter for the Authors of Pain is to become the NXT Tag Team Champions. We'll see about that. So, are the Revival cashing in their rematch clause like on next week's episode? I don't know. Would have been announced. But I do think that they're going to do that before NXT TakeOver San Antonio, or maybe, you know, they are trying to help, you know, the Authors of Pain really come into their own, especially after they injured those two jobbers the other week. Yeah. So yeah, then there was Sanity without Sawyer Fulton, because I mean, in kayfabe, Sawyer Fulton is not part of the group anymore. In real life, Sawyer Fulton has been pretty badly injured. He will be out of action for a couple of months. So yeah, would have been weird to have him really be standing there. And yeah, so Eric Young arrived with holding Fulton's jacket, threw it on the ramp, and yeah, with Wolf, they faced the team of No Way Jose and the Cruiserweight champion who had this belt, Rich Swann. Could have been a bit spoilery, but then again, Rich Swann won the belt 2 days before the TV tapings, so yeah, makes sense. It was a match. Wasn't a bad match. Wasn't a very memorable match. The only thing, you know, the only real thing that we can take from this match is Big Damo, or just Damo as he's called in the WWE, who pushed No Way Jose into a ring post, giving Sanity the win, but not officially joining Sanity. He also took Sawyer Fulton's jacket and then threw it on the ramp. Yeah, and went just backstage with you know, Wolf and Young looking a bit uneasy, while Nikki Cross had her eyes on the prize. The prize being the NXT Women's Championship belt that Asuka had left there, and she took it back with a sly smile. Yeah, so maybe she is baiting women into challenging her, because there's Asuka and there's the women's division. There's the rest of the women's division pretty much in fighting, and they want us to believe that there's more to it than just the infighting. So they had Ember Moon face Kimberly, who is not contracted to the WWE. I think she is from Chikara. She is kicking ass on Chikara, actually. Yeah, she's not the main woman when you think of a blonde woman working the indies. That might be Candice LeRae. You know Candice LeRae, the one the woman who almost gets killed every time she steps into the ring with a man. Remember that spot with Roderick Strong, the same spot that was emulated by Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles at TLC? Yeah, she had more hair than AJ Styles. That was actually scary. So Kimberly had a match against Ember Moon. Pretty good match, yeah. The finish was, you know, obvious. Moon won with her top rope spinning stunner. Bit botched because Kimberly was too close to the ropes. Yeah, so when there was, you know, the spring effect that, you know, you had just the chin hits the shoulder and your head goes back, and boom. She did that a bit too early, Kimberly. But still, good match. Hope that we might see, you know, women like Theo Trinidad and Kimberly more often in NXT, because I mean, it's always cool to have more faces. I know that there's Liv Morgan, Daria Berenato, and Billie Kay, and Aaliyah, and Peyton Royce, but you know, more people. It's always good. Yeah. Then there was Ty Dillinger in William Regal's office. Apparently he was going to quit, but before he could say that he really wanted to quit, you know, he was like, yeah, you know, last week I had this match with Samoa Joe. I wanted to prove myself that I belong. William Regal broke the news of a tournament for the #1 contender for the NXT Championship. So it will be four single matches. So Ty Dillinger versus Eric Young, Bobby Roode versus O'Neal Lorcan, Elias Sampson versus Roderick Strong, and Andrade Cien Almas versus No Way Jose. The winners of those 4 matches will face each other on January the 11th in a fatal 4-way to determine who will face the champion at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. So yeah, it could be interesting to see if Dillinger can knock off Eric Young. Could be a nice rub, you know. Dillinger has had only 1 big win this year, so maybe 2017 will be the year of the perfect 10. Could have been 2010, but in 2010 NXT didn't exist. Well, it existed, but it was trash. So yeah, and then Dillinger was pretty happy. Like Regal was like, "What did you want to tell me?" And Dillinger was like, "Absolutely nothing. Goodbye." And then Regal put on his brass knuckles for some reason. Yeah. And then there was the championship match from Osaka, Japan. The show between Nakamura and Joe. I mean, it wasn't a bad match. It just was house show quality. Very planned out. Very. I don't know. Would I say overbooked? Maybe, yeah. But it was a good match. You know, there was some good things, some good transitions, cooking a clutch, and it ended with a Kinshasa, and Nakamura is the champion. Now, does that really mean that it's time for Joe to be called up? I don't know, because then they had a cage match for the NXT Championship in Melbourne, and I don't know the results, but if the championship had changed hands, it would have been, you know, pretty much out there on the social networks. So I don't know. But still was a good show. Also, Percy Watson returned and didn't have his stupid looking red glasses, but he really sounded like he hadn't watched wrestling like at all in the years since he wasn't in the WWE anymore, so maybe 2011? Yeah, he probably wasn't there when FCW became NXT, well, until the day he came back, so yesterday. He sounded like he was in the void, like he was so surprised when he saw all the things happen. Like, for him, NXT was just probably just still people running around the ring with a beer keg, but no, it's actually there's titles and there's compelling storylines and there's good fighters, and you know, no matter their gender, the tag team division is fucking stacked. People who dance, you want it, we have it. It's pretty much that. So yeah. I mean, he's probably gonna have to drop that kind of attitude because it's cool for the first episode, but if we have to go through 1 year with that, it's probably gonna get old. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Well, tonight. Fuck. I mean, officially it will be tomorrow. I will say that it's the video vlog for Friday the 9th. Fuck you. Saturday the 10th will maybe happen. I don't know. We'll see what I can take away from the family gathering. You know, maybe some stuff about the internship. Who knows? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Tonight's video blog will be about essentially Marseille versus Dijon, I think. So yeah, goodbye. That was a shit ending.